Welcome to this explainer. Today, we are going to literally challenge your entire perception of reality. I mean, we're going to question everything you think is real. If you've ever had that nagging feeling that there's just more to the world than meets the eye, well, you are completely right. We're unpacking the mind-bending difference between the everyday world we see and the absolute reality that actually governs our minds. So let's dive right in and start peeling back the layers.
Okay, quick thought experiment to kick things off. I want you to picture this. You wake up in the middle of a pitch black night. You happen to glance out your bedroom window into the garden, and your heart just absolutely drops. Right there, hiding in the dark, you see this creepy guy frantically waving his arms at you. Your adrenaline is pumping, your senses are screaming at you, and your reality in that specific fraction of a second is sheer, undeniable panic. But wait. The second you reach over and flip on those ultra-bright outdoor floodlights, the whole scene completely changes. The terrifying, arm-waving monster totally vanishes, and you realize it was literally just a tree. Just a tree with its branches swaying in the nighttime breeze. The monster was never there. It was just a trick of the darkness, and more importantly, a trick of your own perception. And that little scenario brilliantly illustrates something absolutely crucial. Our senses can play massive, epic tricks on us. If we don't take a second to really analyze things closely, our minds will just rush to conclusions based on completely incomplete info. According to our source material, if you want to see the correct picture of the world, you can't just rely on quick glances. You actually need to illuminate your perspective with what they call the light of wisdom. So here's the thing. Almost everything we deal with on a daily basis falls under this umbrella of conventional truth. We usually figure out the world by reading, listening, watching TV, or just poking around. We perceive all this stuff through our senses, right? Seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching. And because our senses pick up on these objects, we conventionally agree, yep, that exists. Like if someone asks you if there's a tree in your garden, conventionally speaking, the answer is yes.
All right, let's test that out in Section 1. The wooden table test, a zoom-in reality check.
Think about a totally normal wooden table sitting in your house. Conventionally, you look at it and see 4 legs, a nice flat surface, some screws. But let's zoom in and dismantle this thing. Take the table apart and it's not really a table anymore, is it? It's just a pile of wood. Now smash that wood with a hammer. Boom! You've got sawdust. Keep zooming in, like under a powerful microscope, and that sawdust breaks down into completely invisible carbon and hydrogen molecules. So where did the table go? This is where it gets crazy, because you realize the table vanished. Because the table is just a concept. It only exists in our conventional reality because we, or a carpenter, arranged those molecules and wooden pieces in a very specific order that our senses are trained to recognize. That arrangement gives us the feeling of a solid object. But fundamentally, it's literally just a temporary physical pattern.
Which brings us right into Section 2, the power of your mood.
So what happens when we look past physical objects and zoom in on our own minds? Imagine you're walking down the street and someone just starts shouting at you. At that exact moment, a total stranger happens to be walking past and hears the exact same shout. Both of your ears picked up the exact same audio frequencies. But because of your mood, you might feel terrible or angry or defensive. The stranger, they feel absolutely nothing and just keep walking. Same exact input, 2 entirely different realities. And this right here pushes us past conventional truth and into the realm of absolute truth. Absolute truth shows us that how you perceive things and react to them isn't actually happening out there in the world. It is entirely determined by your inner mind. How you take input from your eyes, ears, nose, your mind is actively controlling all of it and dictating your entire understanding. To really wrap our heads around absolute truth, we can look at the ancient teachings of Abhidhamma, which break reality down into these incredibly precise categories. Starting with the physical world, right? At the absolute level, all physical things you interact with, a cozy chair, your food, even a ray of light, are broken down into just 28 distinct groups of the element of matter. Now, when your mind picks up signals from those 28 elements of matter in the outside world, you experience awareness. We call this awareness consciousness. But since your awareness can be wholesome and good or unwholesome and bad, consciousness isn't just a single flat thing. It's wildly complex, grouped into anywhere from 89 to 121 different categories. But wait, it goes even deeper. Your consciousness doesn't just operate on its own in a vacuum. It is actively shaped, colored, and totally customized by 52 distinct features known as mental factors. According to this framework, these 52 factors are what shape how we perceive and react to the entire world around us.
You might be wondering, okay, why does all this extreme detail about our minds actually matter? Well, because together, this consciousness and its associated mental factors act like incredibly heavy chains. They are the exact fetters tying us to samsara, which is this endless, continuous cycle of rebirth and death. As long as our minds blindly react to those everyday conventional truths without wisdom, we are just locked in this loop.
But there is a way out. The only way to break out of this intense cycle of samsara is to aggressively and diligently train your mind. By understanding how your consciousness actually works, you can eventually reach the ultimate goal, nibbana, which is the ultimate happiness and the final escape from that cycle.
So, to pull it all together, when we finally strip away all of our everyday illusions, when we see that the monster is just a tree and the table is just a bunch of invisible molecules, we are left with just 4 absolute truths. That's it. Consciousness, which comes in 89 to 121 types, mental factors, all 52 of them, the element of matter, grouped into 28, and finally, ultimate happiness, or nibbana. Everything else? It's just conventional reality.
We've covered some seriously deep ground in this explainer today, moving from the basic illusions of our senses straight to the absolute mechanics of human consciousness. Since we've just seen how your entire universe is essentially built by the way your mind processes things, I'm going to leave you with one massive question. If your mind is the ultimate architect, what reality will you create tomorrow? Think about that next time you sit down at a wooden table. Keep questioning things, and I'll see you in the next explainer.